As always, wrapping up Clemson. Obviously, did not like the way we started. Loved the way we finished. Gave our players a lot of credit for continuing the battle and play hard, and almost got ourselves back in the game. You know, a lot of the familiar things, unfortunately, you know, the block punt hurt us. You know, not scoring touchdowns in the red zone again were costly. And, you know, like I say all the time, when you play a team of that caliber, that can't happen. A lot of those things have to do with the caliber of the opponent. So they're good on defense, explosive on offense. They made a lot of big plays, and we didn't. So move on now, BC. BC, as always, is a very good defensive, very physical offensive team. They're the #2 defense in the ACC. They're very hard to run the ball against. They're hard to throw it against. Offensively, big O-line, physical backs, big pro-style quarterback that can throw it deep down the field, big receivers that can go up and get it, lots of tight ends. And these games have always been very physical games, and I'm sure this one will be the same. So we have a lot to play for, trying to secure a winning season, and BC is trying to become bowl eligible. So, you know, I think both teams have a lot at stake, and I know it's very important for our players to finish strong. Obviously, it's going to be senior day, and we have a lot of really good football players and guys that have been great leaders in our program playing for the last time at BB&T Field. And it's very important to all of us that we send them out the right way. So, any questions?
Coming off two physical games like you have been, two very good teams. What is the mindset of the team?
We'll go 1-0. I mean, and I think this team has lived that mantra. So, you know, we're not happy Saturday night. We're not happy Sunday morning. By Sunday night, we move on and get ready for the next one. And, you know, our players getting to a bowl, as you could tell by the reaction after the Virginia game, you know, the first bowl since 11 was a big deal. And, you know, hoping to become the first team with a winning record since 08 is a big deal. And they know that, you know, for that to happen, this is a very important game.
What is it about Boston College defense that makes them so tough? What are you seeing there?
I mean, players and scheme. I mean, they are hard, blue-collar, tough, physical up front. And, you know, Landry might be the best edge rusher in the conference. I mean, he's an elite end. You know, how he got out of the state, I'm not sure, but he is he's an elite, high-level player. The other end is from St. Ignatius up in Cleveland. You know, he is Kralovac, Kevin. We offered him at Bowling Green very early in the process, and he blew up. He is a very high-level player. The tackles are big and physical. You know, the linebackers are pluggers, and they're downhill guys. The linebacker Milano, 28, is an excellent player, very instinctive, gets off of blocks, does a great job in coverage, had a pick 6 last week. And they've always been good in the secondary. You know, this has been you know, last year I think they sent 3 or 4 guys to the pros. So, and they have a great scheme. You know, Donnie Brown was an excellent coordinator, and when he left, I was happy. And then when they hired Jim Reed, I wasn't happy, because Jim Reed is one of the best defensive football coaches I've ever faced. And that goes back to my days at Villanova when he was at Richmond. And, you know, they lost a great coordinator and they hired one. And then, you know, Coach Pasqualoni is now on the staff, who's always been known as one of the best defensive minds in football. And they've got excellent players, and they're extremely well coached. And they've always been that way. And you know, the way their offense is in terms of how physical, they develop that physicalness year-round in practice. You know, I'm sure BC's spring football is one of the most physical in the country, and their fall camp. And so their program is really built on toughness, and they certainly have it. So this will be a really physical game, and you know, we've got to make sure our kids are rested up and ready to go. They know when they play BC that they're going to be sore on Sundays.
You mentioned the seniors and recognition. I'm counting, I see Josh Banks, Thomas Brown, Josh Harris, Hayworth, Janvion, Markel Lee, and Brad Watson are the guys who are your regular starters that They came here and they have not had a payoff to their career yet, David. This is the first real payoff that they're gonna go to a bowl with a chance to win a record. What they have meant to the program.
Well, I think there's, again, I'm grateful for all the seniors and everything they've done, but you're right, Dan, there's 7 players there that I think those 7 guys have played over 3,000 snaps of football this year. And certainly on offense, Josh Harris and Ty Hayworth. We have some very talented offensive linemen that are younger. Those 2 are the glue that kept it together. Ty and Josh are smart players. I don't think Phil Haynes and Justin Haran have the years they're having if they're not playing next to Josh Harris and Ty Hayworth. So it's not only that they're good players, they've been really good leaders. And, when we struggled on the O-line, those 2 stayed the course. And, our offensive line is so much better this year than it's been in my 3 years and probably before that. And a lot of it has to do with those 2 and their leadership and, never continuing to push that room to get better. And then on defense, Markel Lee, I think, will leave as certainly one of the better linebackers to ever play here, and I think he's one of the best linebackers in the ACC. Josh Banks finally did it. Took him his senior year, but he has had an awesome year for us. We've talked about Josh, hot and cold, inconsistent, and you just kept hoping that he would finally put it together, and he has. He's had a great year for us as a senior. I'm proud of him, and he's really, he did it. He's got to do it 2 more games, but he's been a good player, and Thomas Brown has done everything for us. Safety, linebacker, special teams, nickel package. Brad Watson has become